So hello and welcome student to the today's lecture. So this is our course number MA 425 topology. Okay, and we are discussing about connectedness for last one or two lectures. Now today we will discuss about another idea is called path connectedness. Okay, and I think this is lecture number 18. Okay, so today's topic is path connectedness. First topic, path connectedness. Okay, so let me define what do you mean by path in a arbitrary topological space and what do you mean by path connected space. Okay, so so as usual, so we have a topological space. Definition. So let X be a topological space and you have 2 points in X and X comma Y belongs to X. Okay, 2 elements are 2 points in X. A path from X to X. Okay, so I am saying path means these are the element of X. Okay, to X, and maybe I should say in X is a continuous function, continuous map if from some close interval of real number. So we can write down a b to X such that if of A it start at that point X and if of B is Y. So the path that start at X and finish at Y. Okay, and there is no speciality about this AB. You can choose in particular 0, 1 also. Doesn't matter. In some cases 0, 1 is more suitable. Some cases other than 0, 1 you can choose any other close interval. But you already know that all those close intervals are homeomorphic, right, in R. So it doesn't matter actually. Every close interval homeomorphic to 0, 1, and hence every two close intervals are homeomorphic to each other. Okay, so so a path, so what does that mean pictorially? So you have a space X and you want to know whether you have a, what is the meaning of path. So Y, so this is what, so this is you have a some interval A and B and continuous functions from here to here which map this point to X and this point to Y, and it can be something like anything, something, whatever. Okay, so this point map to this point, this map to this point, and in between points map to somewhere. Okay, this is a very continuous map, right? And you can obviously use the intermediate value theorem that for every such points you have a pre-image here inside this interval somewhere. See, we see this is the point. Okay, so this is the meaning of a path in any arbitrary topological space. And next definition, so continue, we say X is path connected if every pair of distinct points of x can be joined by a path. Can be, I mean, there is a path that joining these 2 points. Okay, can be joined by a path in x. Okay, then we say that x is path connected. Okay, so whatever point you choose, two distinct points, you must have a path in between that. So that means there must be a continuous functions from some closed interval to that space, such that that a map to the x and b map to y. Then we say that is to a path connected. Okay, for this, if this is true for every such pair. Okay. Now the question is that there are two notation we learn. One is connectedness and another is path connectedness. So are there any relation among these two idea, or they are kind of independent? And the answer is obviously there is a relation. So what is the relation? So this path connectedness is stronger. What does that mean? That means path connectedness implies connectedness. So what does that mean? That means if a space is that is if x is path connected, then x is also connected. Okay, and now obviously you can ask that okay, so this requires proof first. So let me first prove this, then we will go to the another question. Proof. So it is given that let x be a path connected space, such that it is not connected. Then we will find out some contradiction. Okay, then what happened? Then obviously then you can have this there exists separation, right? Separation. So u and v separation of x. So you can write down x equal to u and v. So separation means they are disjoint non-empty open sets of x, such that the union is this, right? Okay, now the question is that okay, so this is a separation of x, and also you know that if it's path connected. So what does that mean? That means if we choose any path in any path, then what happens? Then so let f from okay, so I don't want to write down 0 1 because I can write down 0 1 also, doesn't matter. So let me write down just this. I can write down 0 1 also, doesn't matter. Okay, so this is homomorphic to any closed interval. So let 0 1 to this to x be any path in x. Okay, any path. Okay, then what happened? Then what will be the image of this under this f? So that means this is continuous map, right? Then the image f of this closed interval 0 1. Okay, so continuous image of connected set is connected. So 0 1 is connected inside R with respect to that usual topology, right? So this is connected, right? Connected in x, right? And but we have a separation of x, u and v, and we already proved that every connected subspace will be one of the separation. So thus this will be, this f of s is either in site U or in B, right? Completely. So what does that mean? That means this image of this thing is either completely inside that or completely inside that. So what does that mean? That means if we choose 2 points, one is U, another is inside V, then there is no path joining that thing, right? So thus there is no path in X and that joining a point of U and V. Okay, so this is the contradiction, right? So this, which is a contradiction, which is a contradiction to the path connected assumption, right? Path connectedness. So what does that mean? That means whenever a space is path connected, then it has to be connected also. Okay, maybe I will give some example before I will ask you another important question. So for example, in real line is path connected, obviously. Examples are is path connected. Okay. Similarly, if you remove one point from R, for example, any point, say 0, then it is not path connected. Obviously, you can understood that if you remove 0, there is no path in between negative real numbers and positive real number, right? Okay, then you can ask what about R2? R2 is also path connected. But this is, I should write but here. But here what happened for R2, if you remove one point from R2, there is no problem. Still it is path connected. And also R2 minus a point, any point. So let me just remove that origin 0, 0 is also path connected. Okay, there is no problem. In fact, if we choose that any disk, open disk, closed disk, whatever, they all are path connected in any finite dimensional vector space Rn. Okay, and there is something called unit ball. For example, S1 you have learned, right? So S1 is what? S1 is the boundary of unit ball in R2. This is called S1. Okay, and the whole thing is called B2. So B2 is what? B2 is that closed unit ball, which is collection of all the points whose norm is less than equal to 1, and norm means here I am using equivalent norm in R2, and boundary is what? S1. So S1 is what? All those x. Okay, so I should say x as that. All those x as that the norm is exactly equal to 1. Okay, so x belongs to R2. Okay. Now the boundary is also path connected, inside is also path connected. Okay, they all are path connected. In fact, connected. In fact, if you go higher dimension, similarly, see S1 is boundary of B2. Similarly, you can check that Sn minus 1, which you can define by these, all those elements in Rn, such that the norm is exactly 1, is called the n-dimensional unit sphere. Okay, and you see this is also path connected. Okay, so these are all examples. Now the another question one should ask that what about the converse, that if a space is connected, can you say about path connectedness? The answer is no, this is not true. If the space is connected, then okay, so converse is not true. Connectedness does not imply path connectedness. Does not imply. Okay, so connectedness does not imply path connectedness. So what does that mean? You may have a connected space which is but it's not path connected. So one such example is, you just take that for example unit square with respect to order topology. Yes, so you take this close interval 0 1 and close interval 0 1. You take the square. So this is the point 0 0. This is 1 1. Okay, this is 1 0. This is 0 1. Okay, and I am using order topology. Okay, so you take the dictionary ordering and take the topology. Now you will see that this is not path connected. This is obviously connected. In any order field is connected. We proved it right last time. So whenever your order topology is coming from orderness, it will be always path connected. Yes, it will always connected. But it is not path connected. How do we not path connected? So let us assume that suppose this is path connected, and you have some map from this point to this point. Okay, so you have a function from close interval AB to this. Okay, let me write down this is I square, unit square. Okay, such that that A is mapping to the point 0 0 and B is mapping to the point 1 1. Be a path. So what does that mean? That is, this is a continuous map such that A mapping to the point this and B mapping to the other point. And this is I am taking with respect to the order topology. This is not true with respect to the usual product topology. Usual product topology of R2 coming from R1 is different than the order topology coming from addiction ordering. These two different topology. Okay, so do not mix these two things. Okay, now if there is a path, then what happens? Then for example, if you choose this area, okay, inside this okay, so let me write down this. So how do I write down? Okay, if something say open here, this, and this is some line whose x-axis is say x, so you can write down this is this line is x cross 0 1. This is the coordinate of the line. Okay, then one more thing. So this is a continuous map, and intermediate value property tells you that for every point in between, because that is in between 0 1 and 1 1, you have a pre-image, right? So the intermediate value theorem, intermediate value theorem implies, what does it implies? For every point, say xy belongs to this I square, for any xy belongs to this, so there exists so there exists a point, so there exists some c that belongs to that interval, such that f of c, the image of c is that point xy, right? So all the points inside this, right? So now what the picture what I was writing, so then you choose this open interval here. This is open interval inside order topology, obviously, and this is not open interval inside. This is not open interval inside product topology. Remember, inside order topology is open interval, and this open open set. This open interval open set has a pre-image also, right? So you write down that. So F inverse of that set, which is open set, so elements of this form, right? So this will be some open set. So let me write down, it is open, say U of X is, because F is continuous, right? So is an open set in this closed interval AB, right? So you have this, and then you have this closed interval AB, and this is map pull back to something here, say UX, some open set here, right? Now we know that any open set, we know that resonance numbers are dense, right? So any open set contains always Reson number. So we can choose a Reson number. So let QX belongs to UX be a Reson number for each X. For each X I am choosing resonance number for each X belongs to that interval I. So X is running over, so this is the X, right? X coordinates. It's running over all the interval 0, 1. Okay. So thus, what does that mean? Thus, you can define a function, say G from that 0, 1 to, or close interval 0, doesn't matter. You can choose close interval 0, 1 to Q, Reson number, such that G of this X, choose X, and then you are sending to QX. G of X equal to QX. You understood? This map, given any points in this, then choose that line segment open set inside I cross I, and find out the pre-image, because this is, I assume that there is a path, right? So if there is a path, then the pre-image will be it's also open set. This is a open set I choose, and inside this open set you must have the Reson numbers, right? Open intervals, pre-image is open intervals, and this is Reson number because why? Because resonance are dense, so you always have a Reson number inside this, right? And for each such X, you choose a Reson number QX, okay, and then define this map. And now you see that this map is what? This map is certainly saying 1, map, injective map, right? Because whenever you are choosing, yes, one more thing. So these UX are all disjoint, because for every X, the interval are different, right? So the UX depend on this. So if you choose another X dash, then this will be another UX dash, right? So UX are all distinct. So the GX is 1, 1 as UX are distinct. Okay. So if the pre-image is equal, then if the image is equal, the pre-image has to be equal. If the image are distinct, the pre-image are, if the pre-image are distinct, the image are also distinct. So this is a 1, map, okay? So what does that mean? That means there is a 1, map from 0, 1 to Q, but this is a contradiction, because 0, 1 is uncountable and Q is countable. Okay, so this is a contradiction. This is a contradiction as close intervals, whatever open intervals you can choose, is uncountable. I hope you have understood this, because you learn this thing uncountable, countable in analysis, right? But Q is countable. Okay, so this is contradiction. So what does that mean? That means if we have this kind of unit square with respect to order topology coming from the dictionary ordering, then this is no longer a path connected. No, it is connected, but it's not path connected space. Okay. And I will give another example, which is very important example, and it's called topology sine curve. And I will obviously give some part, and I will ask you to prove some part. Okay, so this is called topologist sine curve. So what is this? So this is a map, actually, a map which is a map from, say, let me write in open interval 0 to closed interval 1, okay, to R2, such that how this is defining the map? We are defining the map x going to R2. So there are two components, one x and sine 1 by x. This is the map. Okay. Obviously, this is a continuous map. You can easily check whatever you have learned, the techniques. This is a continuous map because I have already explored the point 0 here, right? 0 is not here. So sine 1 by x makes sense. And how this picture will look like? So this is my x-axis, this is a y-axis, this is origin 0, 0. And this function is near origin. It is very haphazard, like this, very haphazard, and then is slowly like this, like sine curve. Okay, but inside this near 0 origin is very haphazard because sine 1 by x, so whenever x is going to very close, sine 1 by is very large, right? So it will haphazardly just go around. Okay, so the image is what? So image is image of that how do I define f? Yeah, so image is we write down the s by the image of this, image of open interval a, close interval, so open interval 0, close interval 1, and this is actually defined by this set 6x 1 by x, such that 0 less than x is equal to 1. This is the set. Okay. And now obviously this set is a obviously continuous image of a connected space, so it has to be connected, right? So this is connected. It's not a problem because 0, 1 is connected, so it's connected. Now what is the closure of? So S is actually all those lines, but what is closure of S bar? This is S union this portion of the line, that y-axis from -1 to +1. Okay. So this line, so this x union the 0 cross this -1, close into -1 to +1, right? Why? Because if you choose any point here on this line, if we take a open ball, then this open ball contains the points of S. So what does that mean? That means every point of this line is a limit point of S, and hence this is inside the closure. Okay, so S bar is this. Now once you know the S bar and you know the S is connected, so the property of connectedness tells you that S bar, which is S union that set 0 Cartesian product with the x coordinate is 0, y coordinate varies from -1 to +1, is also connected, right? Because closure of a connected set is connected. Okay. Now I will claim that that this is not path connected. This is my claim. S bar is not path connected. Okay. So how do you prove this kind of statement? So again, this method of contradiction. So suppose you assume that this is path connected, and then you find out a contradiction, and then you are done. So what does that mean? That means, so you will find that if there is a function, if there is a continuous maps which is maps. Okay, so if the path connected means what? So you can always have a map that starts as origin is inside this line, and insert some point here, say for example this is a point. Okay, you always have a map path that's coming from origin to this. Okay, but this is not possible. We will show that if there is a continuous maps, then you will have contradiction. Okay, so let a path, so let say G be a path from this origin 0 0 to a point in S. Okay, and then we'll show that this is not possible. So G is continuous function, right? So you can say that G is mapped from some A to B to that S bar. Okay, such that G of A will be equal to that origin 0 0, and G of B will be that point, whatever the point, x sine 1 by x, something like that. Okay, where x not equal to 0, obviously. And now you choose that if you collect the points which are the image is inside that the limit that set of what should I say, S bar minus S, so inside that. Okay, so if you choose the set say A, which is all those x, or yeah, or although t belongs to this this interval AB, such that your G of t is actually element of this G across the line, the vertical line. So this is a closed set, right? So this is also closed set because the continuous maps. So this is closed in this closed interval AB, right? And hence every closed set has a maximum, right? See, bounded set has a supremum, but because closeness means the supremum of that set is a limit point, so that must be inside the set. So A has a supremum, or rather maximum. So A has the, so the maximum supremum are unique, right? So as the maximum point, some point. So let me write down something, say maximum M. Okay, so A has the maximum M, and then you can the M has to be in between A and B. So you can just what you write down, you can write down that so this is maximum. So after M, nothing can be, it cannot be inside that closed interval in G minus 1 to plus 1. So now you can rephrase that function G, and you can write the new function from M to C to S bar. Okay, now you see that what is the function? So the G of M, that actually map to the 0 comma minus 1 to 1. This is the only point, and other than that, all the other points x, whenever x is not M, that actually map to S whenever x not equal to M inside this, right? Okay, so what does that mean? So it's obviously, see, these are homomorphic to 0 1, so you can obviously write it down. You can just write it down 0 1 itself in MC. Okay, and now the question is that these functions, if you take the parametric representation, then what happens? So it will be something like that. G of t will be something like that. Some x of t, comma y of t. Okay, and you know that x of t when at 0, so it will be on the line segment on the y-axis, so it will be 0, and other than that, x of t will be always positive, the way I choose it, whenever t is positive. Okay, and okay, and what will be the value of yt? So yt will be, by definition, sine 1 by xt. Okay, now it is obvious from the picture that when xt is very close to 0, then xt is very close to 0, and hence yt, which is sine 1 by t, it is haphazardly moving from here to here, right? So you can choose such a way that one point is this point, one point this point, this point, this point, like that. You can choose it. Okay, and that tells you that this function f of x cannot be continuous functions, because you can choose now a sequence t such that t tends to 0, but f of t n, which is your x of tn comma sine y, so sine 1 by x of tn, okay. So you see that you can choose such a way that these points are actually haphazardly going to -1, +1, -1, +1, okay. And that tells you that because of this property is very close to 0, this is haphazard, right? So you choose such a points, and those points, obviously then f of xt is not converging, right? F of tn does not converge because this is haphazardly going to anywhere, okay, f of 0. Okay, so what does that mean? That means f cannot be continuous functions. This is not f, this is g. Sorry, g cannot be continuous function. G is my origin function, yes. Okay, so what does that mean? That means if there is a path, then you have a contradiction, and that tells you that g cannot be a continuous functions. Okay, so this kind of path. So this is you can intuitively can understand that this portion of the path, the S portion, this portion is path connected and also connected, right? But if you take that portion of y-axis, this portion, which is obviously our limit points of x, so if you attach those two, it will be still connected, but you cannot find out the path, so you cannot go from here to here. There is no path containing a points from this line and this line. This is the only interesting property. Okay, so these are some of the property that tells you that whenever you have something connected, that does not mean that it is also path connected. Okay, so now I am going to tell you one more maybe, yeah. So let me just define quickly, because I remember I told you already components, but let me define properly what do I mean by components. So then mathematical definition. So in a topological space you can define equivalent relation. So let this is a topological space is given, and so we say so you have 2 points x is related to y if there exists a connected subspace, connected my laptop become hot, so it's not writing properly. Subspace of x containing both the points, okay, containing both x and y, then we call this is obviously. So if this is a relation, then you can check that this is a equivalent relation. Okay, check. So this is homework. You can easily check that tilde is an equivalence relation on x, right? For example, let me write down, say x is my, this is 0, 1, and then union 2, 3, something like that I am choosing. Now you see that if you choose a point in 0, 1 and 1, and inside 2, 2, 3, for example half and 2, 2.5, you see that There is no connected space which containing both those things. So they are not equivalent. Okay, they are not related. But every point inside these are related. Every point inside these are related, right? So what does that mean? That means this equivalent relation will give you something called partition, and this is one partition and this is another partition, and these partition are called the equivalent class. Okay, components. So the equivalent class of tilde are called components. They are called components. Okay. For example, so here you see that this is one component, this is another component. Okay, clear? So and obviously you can so homework you can do and show me next day maybe that these are equivalent relation. Okay, the reflexive, transitive, reflexive, symmetric is very simple. Transitive properties are simple. You just have to check that any of two connected spaces connected provided they have a common points, and that is obvious here. Okay, and there are many properties of equivalent classes, and I can prove some of them. Okay, maybe so I will prove some property and then we will go to the next day. I will leave some problem for next day. Okay, so suppose you have a components. So how do I write down? So this, as you remember, I said this is the kind of maximal connected component, right? So what does that mean? That means in theorem, how do you write it down? So the components of X are, they are what? They are connected disjoint subspace. You can understand they are disjoint because they are equivalent classes. Every equivalent class are either equal or disjoint, right? Subspace of X whose union is disjoint, whose union is X, whose union, or rather I should say that this forms a partition. That is better. Okay, and not only that, the property is that whenever you choose a connected so every such that, I should say properly, such that every non-empty connected subspace of X, whenever you choose a non-connected subspace of X, so it has to be either inside, so it cannot be inside two components, so it has to be inside the one component only of X, so that intersect, or that intersect, I should say, only one component, only one component. Okay, and the proof is simple because whenever you have equivalent class, you have learned in algebra, so they forms a partition. So what does that mean? They are either equal, two things, or they are disjoint, right? So disjoint part is obvious, and because this is partition, this is the whole thing, right? Now what you need to prove? You need to prove that if it is intersect two components, then there is a contradiction, and that is obvious. That is also obvious. You don't need to prove anything, because if it is for example, if suppose we have a connected space, so A subset of X is connected which intersect say two components say C1 and C2, then what happened? If it intersects C1 and C2, then obviously you can choose one point inside C1 and one point inside C2, and you can say that okay, then there exists C1 and belongs to this A intersection C1, and C2 X2 belongs to A intersection C2, such that they are equivalent, right? X1 but that is not possible because C1 C2 in the different they are in the different components. Component means they are the different equivalent class, right? So this means they are the equal means X1 and X2 are in the same equivalent class, right? Same this is become very hard, so it's not equivalence class. But this is contradiction because C1 X1 is inside C1, X2 inside C2. So these two are different in equivalent class. Okay. So this proves that what is the component. So this is kind of the maximal connected subspaces of this, right? And obviously, if you choose okay, maybe I will define that another definition, something called path component, maybe next day. Okay, and there are some more properties, locally connected, needlessly path connectedness, and then we will go for our midterm exam. Okay, I'll stop here.